ticket. I want to bring in now Governor Kristi Noem, South Dakota governor, joining us on the phone. With this news, Governor, thanks for coming on. So you served in Congress. Governor Walz has as well. He's been elected a number of times, 6 times, in fact. I'm curious to know, we've heard from a lot of pundits of what they think of where this is going, but you know Governor Walz. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I do. I know Governor Walz very well. We served in Congress together for many years and then both ran for governor the same year and got elected to lead our states. So we've both been CEOs. And I will tell people he is a radical. I think that this is another situation where the media has allowed Kamala Harris to lie to the American people. They've, for the last several weeks, said she is going to moderate, and instead what she has done is chosen a radical leftist governor who truly believes that socialism is the future for America, and put him on the ticket with her. So this is quite a development, I think, for the United States, that we have a ticket for the Democratic Party that is so radical and embraces the policies that they do, that we have to have the media, we have to have leaders step up and really tell the truth about the kind of policies that they embrace. Listen, Tim Walz, they're our neighbors. Minnesota borders South Dakota. We've had thousands and thousands of people leave Minnesota and move to South Dakota because of his leadership, because of his mandates, because of his lockdowns, because he's perpetuated violence on his streets and not supported cops. He has not supported law and order, and he has embraced some crazy mandates on energy and social policies that his people have outright rejected, and they've picked up and moved their families to states like South Dakota to get away from him.
We heard from Senator J.D. Vance mention what was going on in 2020 when the riots in Minneapolis took place. Governor, do you believe the voters will take that into consideration? Again, Minneapolis on fire as they head to the polls in November?
Yeah, we have to remind them of that. I remember I was serving as governor, and he reached out during that time and asked us, after he let it get out of control, after he allowed those rioters to burn down businesses and perpetuate violence on the citizens there, and his city was being turned inside out by dangerous people, he reached out to surrounding governors and asked us to send National Guard to restore law and order. In fact, he wanted our National Guard to do what he refused to do. And you know, we at that time, agreed that that wasn't appropriate, that this governor was not leading and was not making decisions for his citizens to protect them, and was asking us to do his job for him. He waited far too long to make decisions, and then when he did make decisions, he made the wrong ones that put his people in jeopardy. So, anytime he's given the opportunity to lead, instead he falls back on a Bernie Sanders position or a radical socialist agenda, and that ends up hurting the people who live under his leadership. America cannot have anywhere give a place to a man like this, because if we lose America, if we have those kind of Minnesota policies everywhere in America, where will people go to escape that kind of dangerous leadership?
They are Democrats packaging him, including Kamala Harris. Senator Bernie Sanders has supported Walz. AOC, the congresswoman from New York, has supported Walz, and other so-called members of the squad supporting Walz in this pick. But they're labeling him, they're packaging him as the coach, as the teacher, working for families. He's the veteran. That's what you're seeing thus far, the words being used. But I'm curious to know, as the thought process from you, Governor, on Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania. At what point it was thought he was the sure thing, and then it was told through media lens that Kamala Harris, NBC News reported that Kamala Harris went to bed without making a decision, woke up this morning and made that decision. But it was Governor Shapiro that would have been at top of that list. He is no longer, he put out a statement, but he's no longer the pick. Do you have thoughts on why Governor Shapiro is not on the ticket with Harris this morning?
I think she was scared. I think she was scared about looking like she supported Israel and the Jewish people and didn't want to alienate a certain segment of the population. And she felt like it was better to choose someone who didn't pose that kind of risk, and he aligns with her beliefs. He falls in step with whatever she will say and put in place, and I think that's what's extremely dangerous about this two as a ticket, is that they both are such extremists that we have to expose what they've done, how they've led in the past, what they've voted for and what they've supported, and how they've undermined our way of life, and what that would really mean for America's future if it was a future that included them in the White House. We just can't allow that to happen because we would not continue to have the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy today.
Yeah, plenty.
Just ask anyone living in Minnesota.
Sure.
If anyone who's lived in Minnesota the last several years knows how dangerous his policies are. They've had to live with them.
Plenty of tough questions that members of the media could ask of the governor of the state, no doubt about it. That is Governor Kristi Noem joining us this morning. Thank you so much for taking our call. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.